don't do a lot of these kind of videos, but I just wanted to say that you could do this. It's going to be a lot of work, always is. Everything that you are trying to accomplish, it always is a challenging thing. If it wasn't challenging, it wouldn't be worthwhile, and everybody would actually do it. I want you to think about that, is that anytime that you are really working at something or you're beginning something, remember it's a giant mountain. And that giant mountain, there's no point to climbing it. There's no reason anybody should be climbing a mountain anywhere around the world. But I want you to see the videos of people climbing Mount Everest and all of the people at the base camp. And there is so much. In fact, it's a natural disaster right now, the amount of waste of garbage that's at base camp. But that, on one side, yes, it's a natural disaster. It's horrible. And it, kind of makes me sick to sort of see that. But at the other side, it means that there's many people that have tried to climb a mountain, and there's no point climbing a mountain. 0 point of actually climbing a mountain, but they tried. They looked at it and they pursued it. And I think that you can do the same thing. It's going to be hard. I know that this time of year, there's a lot of new starts at all walks of life, but you have to try to get that step forward. And it's going to be scary. You're going to be nervous. You're going to screw up a lot along the way, but you take another step and you keep going. Every single day, you take that step. And if you need to, just keep listening to this video, this message over and over and over again. It's just one step after another. You're going to screw up. It's going to be messy. You're not going to know what you're doing. The whole process is a disaster. You never feel good when you're doing it, but you take one more step every day. And you're not going to, there's no rationality ever to climbing a mountain. You tell me why somebody should be climbing a mountain, and there's no point to it. You tell me why somebody should be doing something that's important in their life. There's no point to any of it. It's ridiculous. It's all ridiculous. So instead of thinking about why am I actually doing this, there should be a point to it. This is pathetic. I'm not getting there. All of those things that are because of rational thoughts that you have in your mind, you got to push past that and think that it's completely irrational. You're doing this because you love it and you can't explain it. You can't tell somebody why you love something. You cannot say, this is the reason why. There's no single thing. When I began to, my sister, I remember this conversation many years ago. She asked me that it's okay that you don't have to marry, my wife. This is just before I was getting married. And I said, and I remember this in a very vivid way, because I don't think that she reacted really kind of strangely. I said, I've seen a lot of girls and met a lot of people, but there's no single person that I've ever felt like this around. And it was true. And at the time I was being really honest, and I didn't think of it as such a sort of profound thing. And now that I'm older, I think, oh yeah, that is really peculiar, because I can't answer it. I can't answer that question. It's just that it's the right thing to do. It's important to you. That this matters. You can never explain it. There's no rational explanation about why something happens. I can sort of rationalize it and say, oh, she was in the same town that I was in, and went to the same high school, and all those sort of rational explanations and stuff like that. But ultimately, there's not. Ultimately, when it comes down to you and making a particular choice and why you're doing something, there's nothing ever rational about it, and nothing makes sense, right? Like one thing you could say, hey, I climbed Mount Everest because it's going to make me more money, or I'm going to become famous because I climbed Mount Everest. I'm sorry, that's well done and over. Nobody cares about the fact that you climbed Mount Everest now. But you can do it, right? You can do these particular things that are really hard. It just takes one step in front of the other. It's never fun. It's a pain in the ass. You're going to lose yourself. You're not going to want to do it. But you get back up and you do it again. And you're going to be grumpy and miserable and yucky the whole time. But you get back up and you do it again. That's the entire message with everything that I ever say, is that it never feels good. Why is it that you do things that are important to you? There's no rational explanation. You cannot rationalize any of it. It's like you're a fly that's flying towards one of those like buzzer things on a porch, right? Or a bright light. You can't explain why you do it, but you just do it anyways. And I want you to think about that every day. Just take a little bit of courage, a little bit of steps forward. I know it's scary. I know all of those emotions are going to come up. You're not going to want to do it. It's just emotions. You go through it. Try to repeat to do it again. And the more that you repeat to do it again, the better off you're going to be. That's what it means. If you really want to, whether it is find a good mate, find the right job, find something that you're passionate about, you got to realize that the suck is actually the thing that you're doing. Asking another person and getting another rejection and going through all that misery, that is the thing that you should be doing. That's the important stuff. Going and realizing that this job isn't for you, you move to another place, it sucks, all of that, you go through all that misery. That is the game. You get back up, you do it again, you find the same thing, you find something that works out for you, or you change your mind. You say, you know what, this sucks right now. I'm going to change this. I'm going to be the one that changes this. And it's going to be me. And everybody else is going to say that, oh, that's narcissistic and you're a fool and, all of those kind of things, but you're going to do it anyways. You're going to get back up, get going, and try to make it. The only thing you have. What's the alternative? The alternative is you sit around, you do nothing, and you're afraid of the world, and you're scared. That's no good either. That's that alternative. At least for me, I think about that. It's like, come on, dude, let's get going. It's all scary. It all sucks. So you might as well do something that you think is actually good for you and that you're passionate about. And it makes no sense to anybody else except for yourself. And everybody thinks that you are a fool. Go and do it. No matter what you do, you're going to mess up. Everybody's going to think you're stupid anyways. So you might as well go do something that you actually love to do. And it's important to you and it makes no sense to anybody else. All right. Take care and have a wonderful day.